Here comes Matthew Schultz down into turn number 5, and he parks him. So Schultz, just like you said, Jay, that was a block pass.
Petrucci was always one of my favorite riders in the MotoGP class, especially his win when he hopped on the factory Ducati bike in 2019 at the Mugello circuit.
He's so good through the carousel. He can literally pull 3-4 tenths. It's very important that Matthew gets out of here clean, and he does.
When he came and raced in this championship, it was like, oh my word, one of my heroes is coming here.
Can Matthew Schultz, heading down to Canada corner, keep a gap?
But just to beat him in a pure head-to-head battle will always be something that, that I will never forget.
A couple more corners to navigate on this last lap. Petrucci, he dives it in there though. He's able to close the gap, but can he open the throttle? Schultz, this is where he's been spinning. Boy, this is a nail-biter all the way.
Petrucci straight-lined that so much better than Matthew there as they come out into the last corner. Petrucci's going to take a stab at him
so
going into the last turn.
They're side by side. Schultz not giving it up. What has Petrucci got? Did he blow the drive? Here comes Schultz, elbows in, trying to get as arrow as possible. Is it going to be Matthew Schultz with his 5th MotoAmerica win? They come across the stripe, and it is Matthew Schultz to the line in a photo finish.
I think that the cards fell the right way for me on that day, and we definitely got into it a few more times after that. It was close, but I'll take it.
Previously on Pressure to Rise. Jake Gagne comes out of Barber with a 21-point lead over Cameron Beaubier after being tied at the top going in.
I was looking at this as a possibility that there was going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Sometimes I underestimate Jake's resilience.
Looking forward to MotoAmerica because that's going to be one of those tracks that's going to be tough to win. I think there's going to be a lot more guys in the hunt for the win. I think it's going to be hard for anybody to get away, so I'm hoping we'll see a race-long battle there.
It's pretty difficult to have a breakaway. You get a bunch of guys that work together and they can pretty much haul you in just because there's enough room on the straightaways to make up for someone who is riding on their own. When you ride in a group, you're obviously going to be faster down the straights. The question is whether or not everybody can put their egos aside enough so that they can get it around the corner fast enough to not lose the dude that's out in front.
Matthew Schultz has made the podium in 3 of the 4 races and looks to gain on the leader at MotoAmerica, a track he's won at before.
We should be a little bit further up at the sharp end of the field, but I know that the Beamers and the Ducati are going to be really strong there, so I know that they resurfaced the track a couple months ago, so we're going to have to run harder compound tires, and I think that might actually be in my favor. So we'll just have to take it as it comes.
Richie Escalante showed steady improvement and had his best race finish yet, P4 in race 2.
I'm happy to finish finally on P4 and good race pace, close the gap with the winner and also close to the podium, so I'm super happy.
PJ Jacobsen had a pair of 5th place finishes and has some momentum coming into this round after a setback in Atlanta.
MotoAmerica is an awesome track. The BMW is really fast, so I think that when we go there, it should be pretty good. The place just got repaved. We had like a test there. There's no bumps. It's really, really smooth. So I think it should be a pretty good race, probably like the Road Atlanta race that everybody was in except for me. But I think that I like Road America a lot, and I think it should be a pretty good race when we go back there.
Josh Herrin finishes 6th in both races and drops to 4th overall after a strong start in round 1.
It was really just about surviving at that point, just trying to get as many points as we could. Going into Road America, we'll have a strong bike again. We just got to figure out what's going on.
Tony Elias is still grinding through his return after 2 years off.
I had the worst weekend in Barber. I'm not here to be P6, and if I have to continue being P6, it's better stop.
A second DNF on the season for Cameron Peterson at one of his favorite tracks has him looking up in the point standings in 6th.
I honestly just hate letting down the team like that. You know, I'll bounce back, I'll be fine, but letting down those guys sucks. So just gonna try not let that happen again. In Road America with no bumps, no cracks is gonna be unreal. So looking forward to it.
Cool.
Road America is the 3rd stop of the season, with 3 of the longest straights on the calendar. No one had a better break between rounds than Cameron Beaubier, who welcomed his first child into the world, a boy he and his wife, Shelby, named Brody.
You can stay where you are.
Is that your dog?
Yep, that's Dixie. That's Dixie and Brody. Him snuggling with Dixie, like I do. He's a cool little boy, that's for sure.
That's so cute. Oh, look at his hair.
I know.
So cute.
But yeah, super special. I didn't want to let him go. I just held him all day yesterday and was like walking around outside with him with the dogs, and it was cool. My wife delivered Brody on Thursday last week. Yeah, what a wild week. It's been pretty crazy, a little sleep deprived, but catching up on it here, and he's amazing though. Shelby did so good, she did so amazing. We're definitely gonna miss them this weekend, but yeah, just gonna do my best this weekend and yeah, go home to them excited.
A few riders got a chance to test the repaved surface at Road America a month earlier at a Dunlop tire test.
It was pretty slippery, and the track seemed like very dirty and stuff, you know, so it was a bit strange. We were like losing grip in corner entry and exit, so I think a lot of the people that were at the test were a bit nervous to come back here, and also the tires as well weren't really like lasting more than like 3 laps, so it was a bit nerve-wracking, I guess, to show up here.
Friday morning provides the first look at tire wear with much better weather conditions than the test.
Josh Hayes says a lot of grip. So forget about blue button 1, we go full power, okay? Which was last year anyway, okay?
Yeah, 1 lap.
You 1 flyer. I'm thinking you might want to go to 3. If the grip's much better, then obviously not so much slip, so slip's lower. So just see how you go.
Cameron Peterson injured his right wrist while the team was testing at Barber the Monday after round 2. Josh Hayes was on standby to replace him in the event he couldn't ride. Hayes joins the team for practice 1 on a 3rd bike.
On the Monday after Barber, just bike sent me to the moon and ended up hurting my wrist. But honestly, it's not a big deal, so we'll get it worked on at the end of the season as long as it just doesn't cause me too much discomfort. Move on going forward and act like it never happened.
He went and got some x-rays and had some small fracture. I think he said maybe one of the screws was loose. He had some other injuries. He's had previous injuries and surgeries on his wrist. So we're all a little concerned that he wouldn't be able to ride. And our obligation is to put 2 bikes on the field. So we said, hey, Josh, can you want to be a standby rider?
Honestly, you know, I kind of enjoyed having Josh around, and you know, he's got a job that he needs to do, and the 600 class is what he needs to focus on, but I kind of wanted them just to keep all 3 bikes out all weekend, and because I've never got to race against Josh, so I thought it would have been a pretty cool thing to race against him.
2 laps into the first session and Peterson's bike has a problem.
4-5, stop mechanical.
Okay. How you doing out there?
Good.
Okay, and the front's got a little bit of graining, the rear looks really good.
Yeah, it's like
got like, did we free up the engine braking a lot?
No.
Not at all. It's like pushing me in, and when I try to get in hard on the brakes, it's kind of got like this whoa, and it's hard to tell if it's like coming from the rear or the front.
Okay. Let's just have a look. We're going to pull some data because we have to look at the engine.
It did a big puff like we saw, you know, like at Barber, we saw the things puffing on the downshift.
Okay.
Saw one of those. So.
One of those, okay. There's a big puff on the back shift, when he's back shift.
On this?
Yeah, you saw that on Cam's bike. Maybe have a look at the oil level, if you can.
You want some fuel?
I think we're going to need some, yeah, put 4 in.
It's pretty sluggish everywhere.
Okay. I think we're going to throw a tooth on ours for 39. He says it's pretty sluggish out of Canada and up the front straight.
39.
So, sorry. You know what I mean as far as...
43?
43.
Yeah, how's your gearing?
Pretty luggage.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Oil temperature is 120, and I cranked it up, shook it. I couldn't even see anything in the top. I wonder if the oil's getting a little hot and it's getting high and it's getting something and going through the breather.
That's probably what happened. So, I want to change the rear sprocket to a 39.
Okay.
But there's not much we can do right now, right?
43?
43, yes. Sorry.
I was about to say 39.
Yeah. So, are we going to go down on the button?
I did.
You did, okay. So he went down on the button already. We'll have a look and see how that is. You're going to get another tooth. That'll help as well. Okay.
You think that smoking thing is fine?
Yeah, so far we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing anything on the data. And when he fired it up here, it didn't show anything. Probably what's happening is it's 120 C on the oil temperature, so it's rising a little bit, and it's getting a little full. So we'll have a look, see what he's got to say.
A short time later, Gagne's bike develops a similar issue.
On the downshift going into that last lap, I looked behind me and I saw Cam smoking too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt fine. I just saw a little smoke behind me.
On the downshift.
Puff when you back shift.
Yeah.
We'll pull the data, have a look, and see if there's things going on with the lambdas.
Both riders are done for practice 1 as the team begins to assess the issue.
Oh, airbox is full of oil.
We'll do a plug chop and have a look.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah. Did he say anything about slowing down or anything like that?
No, he said it very good.
Yeah. So it might be just too much oil. Let's hope.
I mean, this stuff very, very, ever rarely happens, you know, especially with a team, this Yamaha attack team, man. We're always so on point, but motorcycles do weird stuff sometimes, and it is what it is.
That front's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
What do you think of that rear? The front? Yeah, the rear looks real good. It's tearing a little bit. It's on an R5 right now. Okay. We're like 7 laps on it right now.
Yeah, we've been seeing that all morning.
Yeah.
It seems to be getting better
Okay.
as we get rubber on the track, but that's common.
That's
the
normal.
Rears have been looking okay. Fronts are tearing in the carousel.
Has everybody been doing R8
R3s,
rears
R5s.
so far?
I've seen R7s and R8s, but one thing I did notice, at least on the smaller bikes, R8s were going just as fast as R7s, if not faster.
Interesting,
Yeah,
okay.
there's time in an R8. I think
Yeah.
there's just so much freaking grip out here.
Road America did such a good job repaving this place. It is like glass smooth out there.
I'm contemplating going back out on this rear again and maybe not even trying that R7 because the rear has so much grip. So the next rear tire that we have is a softer one. So if it's already trying to push the front a little bit and you're not spinning the thing, if we go even more grip on the back, it could make the whole bike out of whack, you know what I mean? And then we'll just rip the out of the front tire. So I'm contemplating sending you on these tires again, make some changes in the electronics, maybe make a couple little chassis changes and just send you on the same set again.
Beaubier and Jacobsen end up P1 and 2 at the end of the first session and were close to breaking Gagne's track record.
Nice. Both BMWs, a second clear of the next guy.
I think 1-2. Yeah, I'll take that all day long, man. Yeah.
You and PJ were a couple of tenths apart, then it was like a full second back to Heron.
All right, we're done. Let's call it a weekend to go home.
As Friday afternoon's first qualifying session approaches, the Yamaha team has both Gagne's and Peterson's bikes stripped down as they decide to sit out the session and rebuild the bikes.
It was basically a remake of what we had at COTA, where we popped open some new cans of fuel that were apparently from a different batch, and it ran quite different than what we had tested before. And our bikes are very much on the edge, so when they make a change and we don't know about it, then it affects our performance. So we decided, you know what, let's peel back, let's make sure we don't hurt anything, and we'll pick it up where we left off. The fuel right now seems to be our biggest limiter for us.
It's disappointing to lose all that track time, you know, with the new pavement, because new pavement means you got to find the limits and the confidence in that pavement. And all the riders have talked about how good the grip is and how it's a different feel.
Coming up on 30 seconds. You ready? Let's rock and roll. Let's do this.
So on the engine braking, I made the little step in that corner. If it's no good, if you don't like it, just press it and make this 3. Go to 3. Just push it one time. All right?
The new track surface is such an improvement that Jacobsen breaks the track record 10 minutes into the session.
What does he do? A 2:10.4. A 2:10.4, and folks, we have a new outright track record here. P.J. Jacobsen.
That is a new outright Road America track record at a 2:10.4 on race tires. The track just has a lot more mechanical grip with the new surface, and it's allowing us to run different choices and compounds than what we normally would. Typically here with the old surface, you'd run effectively the softest compounds available all of the time, and you know, wear wasn't too much of an issue on the back of the bike. This weekend with the new surface, it seems like it's feathering the softer compounds a little bit. The odd part of it is the harder compounds are not only lasting longer, they're offering more grip, which is quite odd.
Going faster, however, doesn't always feel like it.
Dude, we killed Heron. Dude, he followed you his whole fast lap. He was on your rear fender. You did like 5 bike lengths on him exiting the chicane. No joke. Like, he was on you the whole way through and you went on the exit. So, I'm sure it feels slow, but it's working. So what can we do to make it more consistent then? Let's worry about that. Because like on your fast lap, the exit, I could see it pumping a little bit. It didn't look terrible, but like it yarded Heron.
Yeah, it just pumps it.
Okay. All right, well, let's try this other tire when he's done. Again, we got 19 minutes left, so if you get out there and you don't like this tire, just come back in. But if you like it, give us a few good laps on it and see what you think.
Tell me now, what was the worst thing about that last run?
Just the rear. As I took the corner, I think
okay. So we're going to go one step softer now again. And yeah, just to get this run, because it's still qualifying, you know. So, okay, so that was a step in the right direction, though.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the wheelie?
Try using the switch on the for the EB. If it feels like there's still too much EB everywhere, use the switch.
Wheelie on the front straight?
Yeah, that was
better. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything we'll leave. We'll just put the tyre in. Hopefully that deals with some of the grip issue on the edge. But, I mean, that's pretty strong. I know the other guys are out there, but you know, 8 laps, heat cycle, with the thing not being ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely go better than that. I can get in the 11s for sure.
Okay.
But again, out of that corner, out of the chicane,
yeah,
it doesn't just it goes and
yeah.
snaps and flips back.
Okay. Do you want to have a little look at the torque quick, just whilst they're doing that?
Now with the new surface, we obviously have to run the R8 tire, which is, you know, 3-4 compounds harder. You know, so it kind of just messes with the setup that we've got, you know, changes the way that the EB works into the corners, the way the bike handles, the way it feels. And it just seems like, you know, a lot of the other teams have just found their settings a little bit quicker, and we're just struggling. Which is pretty hard.
Richie Escalante continues his steady improvement as he sits in 4th ahead of Scholz.
He continues to show awfully good form. We talked about it. It's like this year, he and the team have just found it with this Superbike.
And not only that, he's been out there by himself. A lot of these other riders have, you know, all the other guys in the top 5 or even the top 6 have all been out around each other and kind of, you know, maybe got a draft here or there. He's been out there doing it on his own and clicking these laps off.
I remember 2021, maybe 35 or 36 passes in one race. So yeah, I have good memories here, and also I win my first Super Sport race here. So I love this place, and the new pavement on Road America right now, you push on the brakes, you have more confidence to push on the brakes, but then you sometimes lose the brake marker, and it's easy to make a mistake.
You touch switch, yeah?
Yeah, so before it's good.
Yep.
But then when I change, it's much better.
Okay,
I like the chicane. The extra chicane now.
Yeah, it looks better. We've seen a couple of times.
Yeah.
So that's good, right? Yeah. Happy to stay?
Yeah.
Engine braking?
Good.
Good job.
Smells like something's burning on the front of the motorcycle, and there's more vibrating on the front of the bike down the straightaway than usual. Do you feel it in the bars, or you just see stuff vibrating?
No, I feel it in the bars.
Okay, like he feels a vibration in the bars too, like maybe an out-around wheel or something, I don't know, but just take a look at it. And he also thought he could smell something burning. And last time he thought he could smell something burning, it was the wire harness with the carbon cover.
Front tire looks good.
The front tire felt good, but my rear's coming around so bad on me on the entries.
Yeah.
I was happy with that time on that tire, but like, I just can't roll through the corner.
Cameron Beaubier is the winningest Superbike rider at Road America with 10 career wins. His teammate was on top for most of the session until Beaubier breaks the lap record that Jacobsen just set minutes earlier.
Cameron Beaubier, the number 6, a 2-minute 10.373 new track record, and the BMWs are singing.
Yeah, hardest front, hardest rear. We need a harder tire. You got an R9 we could try for qualifying tomorrow? We seem to go faster on the harder one, so we'll try harder again. No?
By far and away the fastest third sector we've seen. Up the hill, does he do it this time? Better at 2:10.373. Boom, a 2-minute 9.661.
Sounds like a spaceship going by there. I mean, he's riding the out of it as well.
You know, it really sucks that the Yamaha guys aren't out there, because we're a pretty big gap from third, yeah.
Beaubier sits on provisional pole and is just over 2 seconds ahead of Herron, who put in the third fastest lap. Race 1 is on tap for later, and fans start pouring in Saturday morning. Gagne and Peterson's bikes are ready, but having spun limited laps, they need to quickly get up to speed for the final qualifying session. A little more urgency sets in with the importance of the session as Gagne comes in early with a problem.
Sputtering everywhere, like.
Yeah, Saturday was a continuation of some unfortunate events.
We had an issue where the engine that was in that bike was also the engine that Cam ran at Road Atlanta. Does it feel like a traction control cut, or?
It's hard to say if it's like almost like a fueling thing or if it's like an electronical thing.
Okay. When they got it back to the shop, they took it all apart, of course, and they fixed whatever what the problem was with it. Did it happen immediately when you picked the throttle up?
Yeah.
Just as soon as you open it, and did it happen when you left the pit lane?
Yeah, I felt it right out of turn 1.
Okay, right out of turn 1.
Yeah.
Great.
Nothing we can fix right now. It's probably this cover. You got enough time to change that cover? You got another cover on that other engine?
Yeah, that other engine, yeah.
We think it was some of the fire retardant powder got into the connections for the alternator. When he went to ride it, it started to misfire. We replaced that whole alternator with another one that we had sitting on the bench that seemed to fix it.
Before Gagne puts in a qualifying lap, Herron clears up some confusion with the track officials.
Came in the hot pit. I know where like the start of the pit lane limit is, but there was a track marshal that was like telling me slow down, and I'm just like, this isn't a track day. Like, so telling these guys like, hey, I don't know if maybe I did something wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the start of the hot pit lane. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't in the wrong there, because I was, you know, in qualifying, like holding the pit lane limiter versus going 130 miles an hour right there, like that saves you a lot of time. So I want to make sure I get in and out as quick as I can.
And this team is so on it. The Yamaha guys are so on it that stuff very rarely happens, but when it does, it's nobody's fault. Like, everybody's giving it their all, so.
With 14 minutes left in Q2, Gagne finally records his first qualifying lap that puts him in P8.
The minute he gets out on the track, he is on it, including wickedly fast corners like the carousel. He just gets after it right away. He's still going to be significantly off here, but at least now he's got a time limit, and that's the important thing.
Moments later, Herron completes the fastest lap of the session, only to be one-upped by Jacobsen right after.
Josh Herron to the top at a 2:10.075. That was a great lap. A 2:09.696. That is what, 7/100ths off of Beaubier's track record.
Escalante finds a half a second from yesterday and continues to make strides to get on the front row of the grid.
This is a guy who has found that next level. Both he and the team have found that level here.
They are really starting to build.
It looks like Beaubier has pole locked up, but Herron, on his last lap, steals it away.
This is going to be a massive lap. Where will it put him at this stage? Does he go to the top? Boom! 2:09.111. Josh Herron on pole and with a new track record.
Look, say, how do you do?
How do you do?
Is that your bike?
Bike.
Show them your bike.
Bike.
Yeah. Where's the tires?
Tire.
Where's the handlebars?
Harbor.
Where's the exhaust?
Other.
Engine, yeah. Where's the seat?
Seat.
You know, getting the lap record is way bigger than a pole position. I think I've gotten one on a Superbike. I've gotten one at Coda now, which I'm sure it's been beaten, but we got one at Coda. We had one at Laguna that I think we still have, and now the one at MotoAmerica. So it's, to me, that's special, because that's being able to say you're the fastest bike to ever go around that track.
As time expires, Scholz and Gagne both move up 2 spots.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that we can get this, and it's not rocket science. We just have to stop trying to get ourselves completely distracted by it. I can move some around with the suspension a little bit to get you so that it'll plant a little bit easier when you start to load it. I think the spring rate's a little too high because we were quite soft here last year. I don't know, but yesterday you were still 8 millimeters away from bottom.
Like when I started locking up the front?
That, the front tire, the pressure, oh, my head's spinning!
We knew that this racetrack was going to be awesome when we got here, right? It's smooth, it's fast.
Perfect weather, track is fast, it's incredible. MotoAmerica is the best place we got.
Like the number 6 of Cameron Beaubier got a good launch. How about Jake Gagne in the number 1 as well? And Herron trying to find some room around the outside. So it'll be Beaubier, Herron, and Gagne with a great launch. There's Scholz right there, pushed a little bit wide. It looked like it was Tony Elias, perhaps. Matthew Skoltz in the mix. P.J. Jacobson on the 99, just ahead of the 45. And oh, Beaubier with a big mistake.
That's a big error for Cam Beaubier there. As you can see, Tony Elias even drives up behind him, as well as David Anthony. So he's going to be coming from a long way back.
I could have turned down sooner than I did, but I ran wide in a couple spots earlier in the weekend, and I just realized how slick it is offline here with the new pavement. So I just made sure I stayed on two wheels, and I'm glad I did, because even when I did tip it in and get on the gas, the rear end was coming around pretty good on me.
Josh Herrin starts to pull away from the field, while P.J. Jacobson tries to find his way around to Gagne.
So far in the trap speeds, the Yamahas haven't been quite up to snuff with some of the other bikes. How about the Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki, the 54 machine? That's Richie Escalante. Whoa, and look at how deep Skoltz is going on the brakes into turn number 1.
Skoltz gets too deep on the brakes running wide and gives away position to Escalante and Beaubier, who is trying to make his way back toward the front.
What Beaubier needs right now are easy passes. He does not need to be held up anywhere.
Kept my head down and kept seeing 209s on my lap timer, and it was obviously a monster down the straightaway. And
you can see here from our Lucas Oil helicopter the speed that BMW has, Greg.
Nervous, you know. All good.
On lap 6, Beaubier overtakes his teammate Jacobson and then drafts Herrin for the lead.
Drafted pass maneuver by the BMW, Cameron Beaubier, and he'll take over the lead.
I was really enjoying the race, to tell you the truth, because he was just coming through, and I knew he had really good pace, and he was going to be able to make some pretty easy moves early because everybody was still packed up pretty good. When he caught Herrin and Jacobson there, he was on a flyer. He was red in the first two sectors, and I was like, wow, this might be a 208 here. And I thought, man, I think he's got this.
On lap 7, Gagne retires from the race as smoke is pouring off the bike.
I had a feeling something was about to happen. You know, I knew Richie was right behind me. Richie was riding really good, and I was kind of hoping something didn't go down right in front of Richie and ruin his race too. But fortunately, it quit on me. I got out the way. Richie came by me. Yeah, it was a bummer to end the day like that.
PJ ran wide and pushed Herrin off track with nowhere to go and takes over second position.
There you go. Coming around P2, coming around P2. Gonna have a really mad Ducati rider.
Did I see a little wave there?
I think I did, yeah.
A little wave of maybe apologies, but nice work for Josh getting through that little chicane. Having the runoff and the ability to do that is also good.
Another rider blows an engine and puts fluid down on the track, forcing a red flag. With 2/3 distance complete, race direction calls it, and Beaubier is declared the winner.
That's it. Hey. That's it.
I was just enjoying myself out there. I just had such a good flow going. I wish it went the distance, because that would have been a really nice race just to ride home.
I thought he could have a really strong year in Moto2 this year. He was like, no, I don't see the window for MotoGP opening for me. I think that window closed, and I didn't go here to be a Moto2 rider. I want to come home. Originally, I really didn't support it. I would really wanted to see him do one more year. I love seeing my son so happy. I know it's special because he's almost glowing.
PJ Jacobson makes it a 1-2 for the Tytlers team, and Herrin held on to third.
It was a bummer to see Gagne struggling today, but at the same time, that's our competitor, and it's a team that I really want to beat. Seeing them get a 0 today was nice for me, because we didn't have the greatest day. We ended up on the podium and got some solid points, and so we got some work to do. And I think tomorrow, though, we'll be better. We'll try that harder front tire. I think we'll see a totally different race tomorrow, and hopefully get that win.
Matthew Skoltz was 8th after being penalized 2 positions for passing under a waving yellow flag.
Yeah, I don't know, there was a yellow flag out there, so I was just notified after the race that I dropped from 6th down to 8th place, because apparently I made a pass under the yellow flag on the 3rd lap, which gives me probably my worst finish in the MotoAmerica Championship, so that one stung.
I don't know the last time there wasn't a Yamaha on the podium. That's been many years since that's happened. All the guys on the Yamaha team are friends of mine, the riders are friends of mine, so that part of I'm not super thrilled about, but it is nice to kind of change it up a little bit. I think for the series it's good to have different brands at the front. I think to see different riders' faces at the front is definitely good. So I think all the way around it's going to do nothing but good things for the sport.
A huge crowd and the roar of motorcycles coming up through the Kettle Moraine Forest. That's what we have for you today. Welcome everybody to MotoAmerica Superbikes at Road America.
Sunday morning's warm-up session saw record lap times drop once again.
First rider to ever get in the 208s here at Road America is PJ Jacobson, a 208.7.
It's a used front and the normal race rear.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was out there all session, right?
Yeah, ran the whole session. We were just testing brakes this morning. Apparently the brakes work.
After yesterday, my confidence was pretty good. I think that I had a really good morning warm-up, like breaking the track record this morning. So my confidence even got boosted a lot. So I was super pumped for our race too.
I immediately just felt way more confidence with the front end than I felt on that bike all year, and I felt like I could really brake all the way to the apex and immediately pick up the throttle. And yeah, it was a little bit of a bubble pop when PJ went as fast as he did this morning, but I did get off the bike and was pumped.
Same bike as yesterday, but just the offset now. 26 offsets, all we got. So back to the 0 pivot. Top 5 today.
I'm 40 years old. The things are not happening as I want. I did a lot of good things, and I'm very proud of them. But at this moment, I'm not having fun. With the team, we are working so hard. I feel support. They have patience. They are understanding. At this moment, it's not coming. I don't feel it, and let's see what happens in the next hours. I cannot say it straight away, but it's pretty done.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Track is open. 5-minute board and horn, please. Green flag, green light, pit out. All stations are waving green. Starting lap period for Medallia Superbike Race 2.
Bikes are in gear, revs are up. There goes the lights. They're out, and we're rolling.
Man, Matthew Sculp's got a great jump from the second row, Greg, on the 11 there.
Here goes Cam Beaubier ripping through the gears, heading into turn number 1, but it's got to be Josh Herrin on the outside.
So I was still nervous just because I always am, and yesterday didn't go great, so got a good start. I think it was like the best launch time that we had on the bike so far this year.
Beaubier took the lead for a moment, but Herrin's so deep on the brakes, but Beaubier's got position, so we'll hold on to it, and Herrin has to just let off for just a moment.
Matthew Sculp's big mistake down at turn 5. Couldn't get the bike slowed. He's going to lose about 3 or 4 spots.
Beaubier wide. Herrin takes advantage of that, so now the number 2 takes over the spot.
Love what I see from Cam Peterson. He's going to try to attack Beaubier as they go down. Did you see Gagne? He attacks both of them. The number 1 goes from 4th to 2nd.
This morning was the first time we got to do more than 2 laps in a row at least, and we made some changes to the bike. We kind of got all those little weird things figured out. I wanted to get up and at least try to see if I could hang on to Beaubier and PJ and Herrin at least for a little while.
Gagne gets drafted by Beaubier for 2nd.
So Cam Beaubier slots himself into 2nd. Gagne now will have to try to run with these guys down the back straightaway and be in the draft. PJ Jacobson goes by Cam Peterson, so he slots himself into 4th.
I had a couple moments with the rear tire. I was struggling with that in the beginning of the race, so I didn't think the grip was there for me.
Beaubier puts his arm up, indicating he has a problem, and immediately retires from the race.
Turn 6, stop with slow and mechanical before turn 5.
Oh, he's down. He's out. Bike's broke.
And now Jake Gagne, all eyes are on him and his finishing position because this could really change the championship again. So here we go. It's Josh Herrin, the number 2. Up the hill he comes. The checkered flag awaits for Josh Herrin, and he will take victory in race number 2.
Hell of a run. Hell of a run. Come on, give me some sugar. Hell of a run.
PJ Jacobsen finishes second once again.
Good race.
Good race, guys.
Good race. Good job. Good job, Simone.
Teammates Gagne and Peterson fight for third all race long, and Gagne holds him off for the final spot on the podium.
I think both of us today, after the weekend we've had and the weekend the team has had, we just needed to bring the bikes home today and get a result. My teammate Cam P was on me the whole time. I think he was being a little too nice to me. I already told him that, but...
He likes to think I was taking it easy on him. You know, at the end of the day, just didn't want to do anything stupid.
Josh Herrin gets the win on his third different make of motorcycle in his career. Tony Elias scores a season-best finish of 5th, but makes a surprising announcement.
Today was my last dance, my last race. The return is not been like I was expecting, so thank you very much. I had fun the last one, and see you soon.
Josh Herrin notches his 9th career Superbike win in race 2 and gains some confidence going into round 4 at the Ridge in Washington.
I was able to improve my times as the race went on, and I think do my fast lap of the race on the last lap. And that was, I think, because I was very nervous about the tire, and once I realized that it was good, I started then kind of putting my head down. It's important to have somebody like Rachel to just be able to go home and, fill you with confidence. If the day's bad, you always have Griffin there that's, no matter what, he's gonna be happy. So it's super special to come in and be able to just sit with the bike and the team and have him in those photos. And, in 10 years when he knows what he's looking at, or 20, 30 years from now, I think it'll be something special and, maybe use it as motivation for him and his kids someday.
I started catching Josh and was trying, but he was very consistent the whole entire race. I couldn't bring that gap down to more than I wanted to towards the end of the race to try to challenge for the win.
I felt the rear end slide really big, and I ran wide, and I was like, what was that? And down into 2, same thing. The bike was just trying to lock up, and finally did. Locked up down that first straightaway, and that was our race, so end of our weekend, which is a bummer.
Jake Gagne leaves Wisconsin, still atop the standings despite a DNF in race 1. Beaubier is 12 points back from Gagne with 99. After a 3rd place and a win, Josh Herrin bumps Matthew Scholz for 3rd overall. PJ Jacobsen's pair of seconds have him rounding out the top 5.
Everybody had to dig real deep, remain calm, and try to put together, a good effort. And I gotta say that everybody was awesome about, the troubles that we had. No one got down, the riders, the crew. We all just dug deep, figured out what we had to do, and everybody was on side to make it happen. And good things came out of it.
The championship battle heats up as a 3rd race winner emerges in as many rounds. The points are tight at the top, but will anybody be able to unseat Gagne as champion?
It wasn't great this weekend, but other people had mishaps and DNFs, so we kind of got away with it, honestly. And we can't let this result affect our season.
We've got 2 weekends off now, so I'm going to do everything in my power to get as much recovery as I can get in, and I think we should be good for the Ridge.
The Yamaha brand has been dominating the championship for the last 3 or 4 seasons. Everyone riding a Yamaha is looking forward to getting the hell out of here.
We got a podium today, and to leave here with the points lead still is after Friday and Saturday. I'm actually a bit surprised. So it's a good weekend. I like to think hopefully we got it behind us, and Probably move on, get out of Wisconsin, get out of Dodge. Is Dodge in Wisconsin?